The decision to enter into the Accords was no easy matter, but it's gotten easier over time because the benefits have just broadened.
When we believe in ourselves, we can do great things. We can succeed when we believe in ourselves. We believe the relationship between these tribes and these federal agencies can, should, and will be a real working partnership as we go forward.
In entering this accord, we are committing to refocus our capacity from the courtroom to the river.
We may all have different perspectives and backgrounds, yet we are unified by the same common concern for our fish and their environment.
We're out here to resolve historical conflicts and compromise and get fish back into the river system. We're storing salmon runs to allow people to fish from Umatilla River to the Tucannon, and the Grand Ronde is what we're working for.
It's our selective harvest program. We have a set allocation on how much we can fish, and we're trying to fulfill that. But in the process, we have this traditional thinking in mind that, okay, if we're going to try to contribute to this overall cause to get some of these salmon off the endangered species list, what can we do to ensure that? And so our thought is release the native species, keep the hatchery fish.
Taking projects like this and adding them up means that there's going to be more fish using better habitat, more access to habitat, which increases survival. Tribal members can then harvest those fish for subsistence, ceremonial uses, and even commercial uses, when that stuff's allowed.
I used to come here as a little girl with my grandparents and my mom, and we'd watch the fishermen fish down here, and to be here to still fishing here is a real good feeling. Yes, this project will bring back the numbers of fish, and that is a real good positive outlook for the fish and for the people.
This is Spring Creek, and it's our largest flowing spring creek on the bottom. It's completely spring fed. This is our largest scale habitat restoration project that we've done to date. And what we're trying to do is remove the makeshift riprap that was placed here by the landowner, which consisted of cars, which is pretty common out west. We're going to restore the channel.
I think the Accords represent a commitment to actions, both from a funding perspective and dedicating resources, whether it's tribal resources, state resources, or federal resources, to protect and bring back the fish resources.
Well, the Accords have benefited the tribes, I believe, in a few ways, primarily with affording us some commitment from Bonneville to implement projects that the tribes would like to see done.
Again, the tribes have this workforce that was often sitting on the sidelines as litigation. Now they're working, and that we believe at the end of the day will unfold as success after success after success.
It is possible for the nations to talk and discuss and come to some sort of agreement that recognizes and works together towards restoration of the salmon.
We're looking into the future, making sure that future generations have fish to fish on.